What's up, YouTube? Happy Tuesday. CHF here, bringing you another episode of Coaching Handheld Football. And today we are talking all about game plans, specifically how to build a game plan that's effective. As you can see, I've put a little bit more of investing into my game plan since yesterday. Game plans kind of went on fire sale as a result of the tournament, giving them as a tier 3 reward. So there were a ton of gold game plans. I snagged them for cheap, built some elites. Some of them I'm going to keep. Some of them I'm going to resell, but let's go ahead and kick off the LVL drives. We'll go through the drives, and then I will jump in detail into how I believe a smart way to approach building a game plan is for both building a base game plan for what you would want to do kind of to get started, and then some more advanced game plan tactics. So once again, we're sticking with the run. This is going to be a run week, so we're going to start it off with weak eye double counter. It is not countered here. The Panthers are a 4-3 team, so we know that, and this particular play would have a 3-4 counter against it. So we get a big first down on the first run, and we are going to go with another first down run, strong eye halfback blast. Now we see here a 3-4. This is a counter. Since it's a 4-3 team and they're coming out in a 3-4, you know that it's a counter. Thankfully, strong eye halfback blast can break low and medium counters really easily. That's one of the reasons that I think it's a viable first down run, because if it's a lower medium counter, you can still get positive yards. Here we're going to go trips halfback stretch. On this one, we just look for a little hole. His block shedding, he got off the block pretty quick, but that's all right. It sets up a 2nd and 7, so we're going to go trips tight end halfback counter where we get dime formation, and we are just going to head to the outside or up the middle if a big hole appears. Here we get the edge. Let's see if we can get a truck. We get one truck, we get 2 trucks, and we are in for the first touchdown on the day. I am going to feature bunch spacing. This man dime formation is counter formation. It's countered, so we're immediately going to scramble and loop around to the outside. And this is why I say this is the only other option other than flip toss that's viable as a counter or as a 2-point play, because it can break the critical counter, and it's really easy to convert. Both of them will have somewhere between an 80 to 90% overall conversion rate over time. I personally like bunch spacing. I feel like most people counter the run a little bit higher, and quite frankly, it's just a little bit more fun to run. Toss is just kind of boring. So we're going to go ahead and take this second kickoff here. I'm actually going to stay on the right side of the field since we're going to be running still. It leaves a little bit more room for me to run weak eye double counter. Here, it's 3-4, so we know it's countered because the Panthers are a 4-3 team. But that's all right. It's still, okay, so we hit a 6% medium counter. This play does not break medium counters as well as some other options, but it brings up a 2nd and 13, so we're going to go with tight end halfback counter. Where we take this one to the edge. Let's see if we can get a truck. We get a truck. And look at Fournette. With that speed, that is breakaway speed, guys. Huge run. 2-play touchdown. And once again, we're going to go with bunch spacing. Counter formation again. That does not mean it's countered. In this case, it is not countered, so we set our blocks and then loop around. You just want to, when you see that dime man coverage, if you're using bunch spacing, you want to be ready to scramble immediately, because if it is countered, you need to scramble immediately. Otherwise, you're going to take the sack. So let's go ahead and kick off this final drive, and then I will talk about my methodology for building a game plan to start. If you are wanting to play in a top league, you're going to need a heck of a lot more game plans because of something called live countering. That's one of the things that I think really sets one top league apart from another top league, is how effectively they can live counter, because that's basically the way you play defense in this game. You can build up your players, but the real defense is done through live countering. So here we go. We're going to go weak eye double counter again. It's 4-3, so we are not looking at a counter. So we're just going to follow our 2 lead blockers here. They come out. We take this to the edge. We get a truck, but we could not get anything on that second one. We were going too slow. So that's all right. So we're going to go with strong eye halfback blast. It is countered. Normally, I wouldn't do this, but I like to demonstrate that you can get positive yards against some counters with certain runs, that being one of them. So here we go, trips tight end halfback counter. We've got a nickel formation, but it is not the counter formation, so we're just going to head to the edge, get a block. Let's see if we can make somebody miss. We make him miss, throwing out the stiff arm. and we are in for another big trips tight end halfback counter run. Finally, bunch spacing. We're up against a 4-3, so this is not countered. So we are just going to set our blocks, loop right around, and we are in for 24 on the day. Sitting perfect on 324s since starting the coach squad, as are a lot of guys. I am blown away at how well a random group of subscribers that kind of all came together so quickly are operating. We are working out some of the communication kinks and everything else. So I'm seeing a lot of promise here, and I'm really looking forward to this. I'm sure some spots will open as some guys move up from my feeder to maybe the official feeder where they can work on their game plan a little bit more and learn a little bit more. But yeah, I am blown away. My subscribers, you guys are definitely absolutely killing it. So without further ado, guys, there's the drives. Let's go in and talk about game plan. So I believe in countering 2 plays with every spot, and specifically 2 useful plays. None of this fake punt pass crap or fake field goal. Those are not useful plays. So here's what you want to do. You want to click on play history and go through here and look at how often plays are called against you. Now ignore strong eye halfback toss and bunch spacing, because those plays are going to be overly inflated because people use them on 2 points. And even if you hard counter it, it doesn't matter on a 2 point. So my philosophy, guys, is to go in and counter plays that are most used against you. So if it's used 3, 4, 5%, you want to counter that because you can counter up to 10 plays, 12 if you have the newest defensive unit. But that's what you would want to do, guys. So go through here, see how plays are used against you. You'll see that I don't always follow it, but that's because I build for more of an advanced play style. I want to build against like top tier players. So I don't really care about countering some of the noob plays like, weak eye halfback gut. That's not really an important thing. I'm going to go ahead and stop it right there and just chat through it. So what I would recommend, you go into your game plan, hit play history, and look through. Now, another thing, if you've been watching my channel, you know I talk about counter breaks and particularly plays that can break counters. I am not a fan, personally, of countering plays that can break counters. Now, I get that against guys who don't know how to break counters, you can still counter them effectively, but I plan I try to personally plan against the best players out there. So a play like bunch halfback dive, you see me call it a lot, and it's a great play. You can see they've got 55 touchdowns with it, but it can break a low and medium counter. So unless I have a much higher overall than them, I'm probably not going to get a critical counter. So countering it is not really a big deal. I personally don't counter motion cross, and the reason being that play can be broken against a critical counter for 15 plus yards. What's the point in countering that in my mind? Now, there are some guys in top leagues who disagree and will counter motion cross. I personally will not. Trips corner strike, on the other hand, even though it can be counter broken, I like to counter that play. Reason being is if you don't counter it, it can be a one-play banger. If you do counter it, even though they can get positive yards, it's somewhere between 4 to 10 yards max that they're going to get from it. So I do believe in countering that. So guys, if you want to start with your game plan, what I would do is I would look for a good combination, and if you're on a budget, don't rush, build them slowly, get them with bid snipes, don't overpay, but try to counter 10 plays, so 5 different spots without your defensive unit that are used somewhere between 2 to 5% of the time against you. If it's a counter breakable play like bunch halfback dive, I personally don't counter it. You are welcome to, but think about it. If you counter 10 plays that average 3% use against you, you've just countered 30% of the plays used against you, and that is going to get you some stops. So that would be my starting point. Start by getting 5 good combo plays that will counter 10 plays that are used heavily against you, and then start filling in the rest. So buy additional gold or elites if you can afford it, that counter 2 useful plays. Again, none of the fake punt pass and none of the crappy plays like, halfback sweep and motion QB draw. Nobody is going to use those plays effectively. They are not a real threat. So don't waste your coins countering them. Start by countering 10 plays with your 5 games plan spots that are used heavily against you, and that's going to be your starting spot. And then as you get more coins and as you build up, start to build up extra spots so that you can live counter. if you're looking to go into a top league. We will do a video on live countering eventually, I promise. I want to give a real one and not have to kind of game the system to do one. I want to do a real live counter. Unfortunately, haven't really ran against opponents worthy of a live counter yet with my game plan, which I'm now slowly getting to the point where I actually have enough there to live counter. But essentially what live countering is, guys, is while someone is doing drive number 1 on you, you're watching their drive live. And if you see that they're using a particular play to get big yardage and they're exploiting a particular 3rd down or 4th down play, what you will do is while they're in the middle of their first drive, you make changes to your game plan so that when they start their second drive, if they try to use those same plays, they are going to run into a counter. But guys, that is the way I recommend you build a game plan. Go in to see what is used against you. Put some thought into it. Look, you can also look at the other things like how much yards per play they're getting, how many touchdowns they're getting with it, and counter the plays that are most effective against you. You want to counter the plays that people are using against you and that are being used effectively to either get big chunks of yardage or touchdowns. But anyways, guys, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see what I drop when I drop it, hit that bell icon to join the notification squad. Welcome to all the new subscribers. I am blown away that we started this year with about 100 subscribers and we're up to almost 2,300. You guys are so humbling. Thank you for pushing me every day. Thank you for all the guys who gave up spots in, like, some cases top 200 leagues and giving up league progress to come hang out with me in the coach squad. I hope you are enjoying the coaching on both the personal level as well as on the channel, and the things that I'm teaching you about how top leagues operate. Thank you so much. I'm still blown away at how well you guys are doing. For those of you, because I know you are all subscribers, for those of you guys who do see this video, keep pushing. I'm proud of how well you guys are doing. Keep throwing the questions out there, keep learning, keep developing, and I promise, even if you don't end up making it to systematic front, I promise that the skills and the way that we are working and operating here, you will be able to make it to a top league, if not systematic front, some other top league, and be very well prepared, since you'll be familiar with the kind of high-end communication, game plan building, and things like that. But I love you guys. Once again, welcome to everybody. Thank you so much for watching my video. Thank you so much for sharing my videos with your friends and league mates. I will see you tomorrow. CHF out.